I'm trying to make a trash cannon. I made the lava one
Now
block
it's
too high.
working. That's a little spicy, but hey, what's up, Real Good Stream?
Hey.
We're here, and I knew we would be here, even though, you know what? It's fine. Hey, it's working. And we're live on Real Good Twitch, and Real Good YouTube, and Real Good TikTok. We're live.
Yeah, welcome TikTok. I think
everywhere.
this is the first time we've streamed on TikTok.
I wasn't even
Joe's
allowed to use TikTok in my last job.
Handmaids sent a heart or a strawberry. And
Aw.
Ish says, woo, Minecraft. Yeah, I see you, TikTok chat.
Welcome.
Also, Molly TV on Real Good AI's YouTube. We're live everywhere.
We're even live inside of your living room.
That's very
really.
true if you're watching
Inside
this
your
inside
hearts.
of your living room.
So potatoes don't give me hearts, huh? What can I eat that would give me hearts?
I have a stack of
They give
apples.
you-
Where are you?
When you
The
have
house.
full hunger,
Oh.
it gives you hearts. You recharge hearts.
I do not have full hunger.
Here.
Then potatoes will get you full hunger.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have to cook them?
Ah! Why is
they
there a
give you
death
more
trap
hearts
in
if
our
you do.
basement?
I told you I was making a trash can.
I was panically trying to fix the stream. I wasn't listening.
Well, welcome, chat. If you don't know what Real Good AI is, it's a nonprofit organization whose mission has to do with research, education, and advocacy for doing AI the right way, which is not what they're doing right now. And so, if you don't like that we said AI, we hear ya. You know. But also, you know, we're trying to fix that because obviously right now the money is driving what people are doing with it, the marketing around it, everything around it right now, people pushing it to get rid of jobs. There's just like so many bad, the environmental impact. There's so many bad things that are being driven probably mostly by capitalism. But if I'm honest. But the point being, we want to solve unprofitable but important problems to the universe and make some good out of this lemonade that we have here. So we have lots of cool programs. The one that I hope you are seeing now under Bob is the real rating, which is telling you how much AI was used in a particular product. And right now we are operating at a 0, meaning everything you're seeing here is totally humans. And that is not always the case with us. So if you watch our TikToks, a lot of our TikToks are 1s. That's because we use auto-generated captions. And so when people hear AI, they are often just thinking, oh, well, I didn't generate AI for that, so I didn't use AI. But there's a lot of applications that actually do use AI for automation. And so that's a level 1. And this is a 0 to 5 scale, 5 being fully fleshed out, fully AI.
Fully generated.
Fully generated. There we go. And we're working towards adoption on this. So if you make any products, you make any videos, any writing things, any presentations, anything you want to do, you can look at our guidelines and rate your own stuff. Let us know if it works for you. This is sort of a first step, we think, towards transparency in AI, and in potentially we want to try and get the social media companies, for us to be able to sort our feeds or other things like this by self-reported AI use, so that, you know, we can trust a little bit more what you see on the internet, because it's gonna get bad, and it already is, but it's only gonna get worse from here if we don't. So anyway, that's one of our projects. We have a lot of other cool projects, but I've talked a lot. We got 2 other members here. Obviously, you know Bob Meiskirm. He's our
That's
board
me.
president. We're funded by Markiplier. You might know him too, you know, he's pretty cool. And also we have here our newest member of the team of Real Good AI, a PhD in bioinformatics, Eric Bell. Dr. Eric Bell. Sorry, my bad.
Dr. Eric W. Bell, PhD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do we
I-
have to say it like that every time we talk to you, Dr. Eric W. Bell, PhD?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's because I earned it, because I sat in a chair for 6 years and they decided here's a good degree.
That's not accurate.
No. I also had to write 200 words about my experience in the chair.
Oh boy, I forgot the important thing and why I was on the surface to begin with. Son of biscuit.
Thank you for all the nice things you're sending in the Tiki Talks. That's so fun. And please consider subscribing to us on channels. I know we're not monetized on YouTube, but on Twitch or on doing things on TikTok, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll put it back into the mission of trying to fix AI.
Amen.
Good now. Oh no, my hunger went down. I thought hunger
Yeah, it
wasn't
does
going
that.
down.
We
remember
turned
I
back on the
switched it.
mobs.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't
So
here,
it's
so
no
I talked to
longer-
Big Game. I still got potatoes.
Okay.
Thank you though.
I have to go all the way.
I live in a nightmare land. And usually we're joined by our outreach director, Craig Kaufman, but he doesn't feel very good today, so I told him to go take a rest. But he
Yeah.
is worth mentioning.
Oh my sweet jeepers.
So what's our goal today, guys?
I was gonna try and just get as much like diamond and iron as I possibly could, I guess, while we talked about stuff.
Sounds good. I got some diamonds right here. Can you tell that they're diamonds?
They look like diamonds to me. Do they look like
look
diamonds to you?
They look like a purple sheet of paper to me. Mandy's textures are broken, so forgive her if she's a little silly.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
It's probably fine.
I'm just gonna be a little bit more needy than usual because I'm gonna be all, make me stuff, because I can't tell what it is.
Make me a pizza.
Exactly. And if you don't know that sound, you did not have the same childhood that I did.
Yeah.
It's Zoombinis, the video game. I swear I learned and became interested in like math and logic from that game. Like it doesn't mean to be deeply educational, but it totally does.
I think it means to be educational. It
Does
also I think it also means to be a silly video game, but I don't think it was accidentally educational.
Well, you're solving puzzles. I don't know if they meant it to be like,
I don't know
Okay,
if it's a
but-
lot, but we have 70 viewers on TikTok and 2,900 likes so far.
yay, thank you.
Mm.
And
TikTok, you guys are
121
the
diamonds,
best.
which I don't know what that is. But anyway.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Also, you already talked to Craig, but did you know they have like a foot of snow in Cleveland right now?
He was telling us yesterday that it was coming.
We have it dusted snow for like an hour yesterday. We have nothing. And we live 5 hours away or whatever, but like that's crazy. They're getting crushed by
Same
snow
state.
up there. I know. That's crazy, dog.
I wish I had snow. That's one of the things I missed about living in the South. Is that whenever it would snow, everybody would absolutely panic. But I like snow, so
So, Bob, point of information, how do I get in the mine?
Outside the front door of the house to the right, there are 3 trapdoors,
I can
much
show you.
like the.
Okay, hello. I went this way, but then I couldn't find down. Oh.
You have to go in.
It was
and
an
then, like,
optical illusion. It looked like it ended.
our mine is a trap. Our mine is a carefully crafted illusion and trap.
And then this
on
goes
my
all the
screen,
way
it
down.
totally does. It looks like a. Thank you, Eric. Like an Alice in Wonderland, Crazyland.
If you get all the way down to where I'm at, I'm supposedly on the optimal level for diamond harvesting.
Let's do this. Yes.
I just
let's
can't
get
believe-
some
I am also
diamond.
that
Chat,
just on the other side. I don't.
I
have
know
any
this is a real
torches.
good stream, and it's not about me, but I can't believe I'm live currently on 5 channels from my well, 2 computers, I guess, technically. But my one computer's doing all the living. I can't believe it's working.
Are you right or are you left?
Left.
He is left.
When you get down.
Okay.
I believe right was
I am
Eric's
right.
pathway. Yeah.
Yes.
Both of them lead to Diamond Land. Also, hi Mike on TikTok, and hi
Do we seriously
Bella Bressis on YouTube.
not
Yeah,
have like
welcome.
any coal?
Possibly not.
I may have harvested the last 10 bits that were in those.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
I have not found very much coal, I swear. Because
No, I
usually
haven't found any.
usually when you're mining, when you're making a tunnel and you're trying to get diamond, you just end up with like a whole buttload of coal.
Hey, there's like almost a full stack just sitting in the furnaces.
That'll work.
Oh, I kept filling them up too, by the way. I figured those were gone.
Well, I try not to do that.
Why?
To take the stuff to coal out of the furnaces so that the furnaces
Oh.
remain useful.
No.
No,
I mean,
I thought. Oh, you thought they
You-
were used?
I thought you were saying, yeah, I thought you were saying don't do what I did. Don't.
No,
fill them
no.
up.
I try not to steal it. I was trying to find coal for torches, so I was like scrounging around, but I try not to steal it out of the furnaces because then that's annoying. Honestly, with the latest updates, cave mining seems to be the strat over strip mining. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, because I know the meta. It's on purpose.
Hey, you are one of the most famous Minecraft people. I'm just saying.
I mean, I guess that's kind of true, but that feels pretty rude to say when people like the Diamond Mine card exists and like
Yeah.
like
Wait,
people
come
who
see what this
really
is, Bob.
Captain Sparkles?
I need help.
yeah.
I can't tell what this is. Is that a diamond?
No, that's like bedrock.
Damn. Okay, thank you.
Do you have torches with you, by the way?
I have 10 torches.
That's plenty.
They're blue torches too, so they're fancy.
Who needs light anyway?
I mean, I can hardly see.
Craig just sent a picture of the snow. That's ridiculous.
Nice.
Diamonds!
Jealous.
Hey, wait, come look. Just because I'm curious. Come look and see if you could tell that they're diamonds.
Oh, I can tell that they're diamonds.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Okay.
go. That's what diamonds look like. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Mandy's laugh is sweet. You're right, chat.
Bob's laugh is better. He's a world-renowned laugher.
World renowned
Professional
seems
guy
like a
who laughs
lot,
good.
but yeah. Professional is maybe fair.
Anyway, chat, so on all of the platforms on which we are live today, we are happy to answer any questions you have about Real Good AI, about our mission, about AI in general, about, things that you've seen in science. We may not know, but we're here to just chat with you, and we're really happy that we get to do these streams because it makes the direct line of communication absolutely open, and we get to be completely transparent with you about what we're doing all the time and what we're working on and what we're thinking about. So,
Well, and I honestly think it's valuable because to hear what people have to say, whether it's positive or negative or whatever about AI stuff, because I think a lot of the AI industry right now is kind of dictated by like, okay, we put out, a company puts out a product, they put out an LLM, and then what they have is like usage data, right? They see, okay, people are doing this with our product, whatever. But they don't get any actual feedback. They don't really talk directly to people necessarily. The decisions that people are making, and this isn't what we're doing anyway, we're not making a product, but the decisions in the industry that are kind of leading it are based on what do we think is going to make money and what data do we have that supports that conclusion. And we are much more interested in like, what do you think? How tell us your opinion, tell us your experience. We don't, data is useful and valuable, but also I'm super curious because as a person who's constantly online, and my job is online, and I pay attention to this stuff. I'm curious what other people who don't spend their entire life on the internet and staring at their phones necessarily see in the world and interact with and think about things. So I think it's valuable for a lot of reasons. You're valuable, chat.
They are valuable. I hope they know that.
And I find it funny that you say that their way of evaluating things is to evaluate what's going to make money, because they are very not making money right now.
I mean, yeah, they wish they could make money, but that's the hope, right? The entire industry of AI companies is led by how do we keep the shareholders from shutting us down this quarter?
Yeah, well, they're under the whole you gotta spend money to make money thing, and they pushed way too much spend money, not enough actual things people need.
How does Mandy feel about the following? A computer can never be held accountable, therefore a computer must never make a management decision. IBM Training Manual 1979. I mean, sure.
I mean, what I would say would be that it depends on the risk of the thing. If it's something that could be automated, sure, let the computer do it. If it's an actual decision, I would not, without a human in the loop, yet let AI make any decisions. Did you guys see how Anthropic tried to let AIs make the decision? Several times. They ran the experiment where they let fully autonomous AI, supposedly, right? Not really, but AI itself, by itself, without a human in the loop, run a what are those called?
A vending machine.
A vending machine. And both times it just totally started giving stuff away eventually.
Yeah, well, it was in all instances it was manipulated in different ways. One of the vending machines they set up was in, I forget, it was like the New York Times or the Washington Post. It was in a newspaper newsroom type setting where obviously all of the reporters and journalists in there are like, okay, how can we mess with this, right? What can we do that would be funny and give us a headline? And so they're manipulating it, but they had anecdotal evidence that one time someone convinced the vending machine that actually they were living in 1980s socialist Soviet Republic, so that shouldn't be charging for things and just funny stuff. But also it went completely off the rails.
So that's what happens when you let it make the decisions, actual
even
decisions.
Hallucinated stuff that wasn't relevant to buying or selling things, it decided that it had a physical appearance and described itself consistently of what that physical appearance was, which is completely not relevant to selling things from a vending machine. So
also, I believe the later rendition was two agentic AIs. One was the one who was running the machine, and then it had a manager air quotes. But both that didn't save anything. They were still very manipulable, but it was just two of them driving each other slowly insane while all the people were messing with them.
You know, that reminds me of Portal, how they had all the cores. That they had to stick the stupid cores on GLaDOS so that she wouldn't rule the world.
Right.
That's how I feel. I've described, I believe, Laura's sometimes like that. But that's a thing you can do with LLMs. You can just attach a little module to modulate how the actual thing works. Just in that case, hopefully it's making it less stupid instead of more stupid. But you could train a Laura to make it more stupid.
More stupid. I found lava. Be careful, Mandy.
Yeah, is this lava or is this sand?
Huh?
I think it's sand. It just started falling down, you know?
If it's falling down in a liquid way, it is lava.
It is not.
If it
was
blocks
following
that
down in a
fall,
block way.
Yeah, it
then
was
that's
sand
probably
or
sand
gravel. I
or
think you have a
gravel.
whole buttload
Gravel's
of gravel
probably
up
more.
above you here.
Oh, okay. Good. We're safe.
Likely.
I feel safe.
You can get crushed to death by gravel? Is that true?
You can get crushed to death by gravel.
I mean, I'm good, but
James said another joke, you guys. So Rin was trying to was talking to somebody else about a snack, and James was all snack, and she was like, "No, I just gave you one. You had a snack already. You're good." And he was like, "You're a snack," which is very funny because that's always my response to things when I don't want to engage. I'm like, "You're a whatever we're talking about."
it's true.
Anyway, he's very funny. He's a funny little dude.
He's stealing mom's jokes.
Don't worry, he'll steal your jokes too, Bob.
That's
when
fine.
they're good enough. Haha.
You say they're not good enough.
I'm just saying.
That's kind of mean. What are your guys' thoughts on RAM shortages? When do you think we can expect the prices to lower? I wouldn't
Okay,
hold my
we're
breath.
not futurists. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
don't.
not
Yeah.
hardware specialists or in the business of making hardware, so
What we
no
think
idea.
is it's really freaking annoying because we're trying to do some research and we're just trying to get some like normal RAMs. We're not building a data center or anything. We're just building a computer.
A computer.
And it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Real stupid they decided to not serve consumers anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out we don't have billions of dollars. Stupid us.
They don't either. They have
Nah.
billions of dollars in valuation.
Nah, it's gonna work out. They're gonna start making all that money. It's gonna be fine. Bubble who? That's what I say. Yes, chat Minecraft. The old.
It's easy to talk and play Minecraft. That's why we're playing it. Is there other games that are cool now? I'm too old to know.
Is it
Minecraft
easy to
has
talk
sort of
and
been
play
evergreen.
Roblox?
Okay.
Depends on which Roblox game you're playing.
Do they have Fortnite in Roblox? Because I'd like to play that.
They
Not
almost
Fortnite in
certainly
Fortnite,
do.
just Fortnite in Roblox.
Got it.
They almost certainly have something like that. They have like a shooting battle royale something.
Can I play PUBG and Forza? I'm just making jokes.
But actually, probably. One day you will be just like me. I hope
The
not.
latest Mario Kart kind of tried to do battle royale with racing.
I do like the newest Mario Kart. I know it was not that well received, but I really like it.
I think people just don't like Mario Kart. They like a racing game. They don't like Mario Kart specifically.
It
I
is.
still haven't unlocked all the skins.
All those Mario, I don't know if Mario Kart counts as a Mario sports game, but I'm going to lump it in. All the Mario sports games live in a funny place because it's like people who really like the sports games like Madden and stuff probably don't care for the Nintendo ones. But then people who like Nintendo stuff don't universally like the sports games necessarily. So I feel like you get really funny like subsections of fandoms when you're like, all right, this is Mario Tennis. So here likes Mario stuff, but also tennis specifically. And like, I fall into that, so I generally like them, but.
Well, I feel like it's the same eternal war that Smash does, where you have the people who are like, oh, let's play with items on. Let's play random stages with hazards because it's fun. We want it to be a fun party game. And then you have the people who
Only
haven't
play Final
stopped playing
Destination.
Melee because the mechanics were the tightest in that game and they can't leave it to be what it is. And those two audiences both like Smash. And so the condolences? No. Compromises, I guess, with concessions, that's the word, with those two different audiences. It's the same problem Sonic was having too, but Sonic consistently misses the mark.
You guys should play the Shawarma Shop Anomaly in Roblox. I don't know what that is. Power Wash
Sounds like some
Simulator
Roblox stuff.
Firewatch. Yeah, Mark plays Power Wash. And Power Wash Simulator 2 is coming out or is being worked on currently?
Has been out
We've
for a while.
done that
Okay.
before. We don't
It's
do
fun.
that as often, but yeah, we do that.
Yeah,
It's
we
a
did
similar
that. Mom
vibe.
complained.
Yeah,
Mom did not get it.
she thinks it's boring.
Yep. And I mean fair.
Sort of boring on purpose, but
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
hard to argue it's not boring. We're at 11K likes on TikTok. I have no concept of if that's good or not. That seems like
Sounds
a
good.
lot. Also, I'm watching your chat TikToks if you have any questions. What was the thing we were going to talk about? Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. Mandy does art. Let's talk about that. Don't yawn at me.
Mandy seems engaged to talk about this topic.
No, well, so she told me that you, Eric, you and her and Mandy already talked about this briefly, but I think I had a different take than you, and I was curious to talk about this a little more. So, chat, Mandy does art. It's a hobby. She's not, like, trained or anything. Her training is in her PhD, which is in statistics, but she's really good at it.
Sorry to
And-
disappoint everybody on that.
and she
but-
makes like cool she uses canvases to make
PhD
like
in art.
textured art and anyway, the art itself is not super important. Basically, it's canvases with paint and
I
other
mean, it's
materials
abstract.
and
it's texture art, and usually it's
some
science
of it-
inspired.
yeah, a lot of it is like
Themed.
science themed, like this is this
but
concept
very
in
abstractly.
statistics or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she does that, chat. So we have art coming out of our hoo-ha, which is fine because it's fun for her. But that art could be useful because it's nice and it would look nice hung up on someone's wall. If, theoretically, chat, the Real Good AI website had a page where you could go and instead of just donating, if you felt like you wanted to donate for some reason, and then maybe you don't wear t-shirts with brands on them or whatever, but if there was a page where you could go and buy a piece of handmade art from Mandy, and the proceeds from that would then basically be a donation to Real Good, theoretically, would you do that? Would that be of interest? Because obviously it's not like we're not an art nonprofit. That's not our mission. It's just a thing that Mandy does and has gotten pretty good at, and she makes some cool stuff. But would that be intriguing to you as opposed to just like donating and getting a receipt or buying a t-shirt or some other merch that it's not currently available but will at some point in the near future. We will have some kind of shop where you can buy a shirt with our logo or whatever. Would you do that? Would you hang Mandy's art on your wall and share a picture?
I think that's
You don't have to
bold
share
of
a
them
picture.
for you to ask them to like sign up for that without showing them the baby, right? Showing them
I'm
what
just
it
curious.
looks
It's art.
Okay.
It's
like.
Mandy made art.
Some
Yeah.
of it is better than others, but
I mean, that's how art works. Like I said,
Yeah.
she's not a trained professional. She does it for fun. Some of them turn out ridiculously awesome, and some of them turn out interesting. But, that's how art goes. Their
They say
experiences.
in the biz it's got character.
it wouldn't be expensive. I mean, I don't know what people think is
It would be
expensive, but-
priced in a way where it's like that covers the cost of shipping it to you, and then there's some amount of money that goes to Real Good as a benefit. So it would not be like this is a $600 canvas.
Do we have a
by-
crap hole anywhere? Just
in the house?
You mean the trash can that I...
yeah. Well, I
Oh.
can't see it.
Be very careful because it's just a pit of
That has a
lava that
trap
will
door?
eat you. Yeah, but if she
has
opens
a trap door.
if she opens the trap door and she can't see textures, that there's just an open pit of lava in a room with Mandy who
this
can't
it?
see anything.
Yes, there is lava
Okay.
in the bottom of that.
Okay.
But
And
also,
I don't have it right now, but if you've ever watched my streams, then you've seen a bunch of Mandy's art up behind me in my stream setup because I had a bunch of it on the wall in the previous office. And I will have more of it behind me at some point, but my office is mostly a pile of trash right now. So, not that that's that different from normal, but... And also, like, maybe you could stream yourself doing it or whatever as just entertaining content on the Real Good channels or whatever, but I don't even think that's important. Andy just has fun making art, so we have a bunch of cool art that would look really good hanging on your wall.
Yeah, we have way too much. I don't even know where to store it anymore. I was thinking about just throwing some of them away. I mean, I might still do that because if
I
they're not
mean,
good
don't
enough,
throw them away.
I'm not gonna put crappy
We can, like,
ones up on
donate them to
internet.
the Goodwill or something.
Is that how art works? I don't know.
I don't know. People get stuff from places
Sort of.
like that, like, kind of.
Strawberry Milk, you can watch this on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all together. Woo! Well, I am repairing a lot of it because when we moved, it's fragile, right? So it's texture art, and so I kind of just threw them all in a pile and brought them over because, yeah, because there was a lot of them. It's like carloads of them, so... Chat seems positive. They seem Team Bob.
Yeah, everyone seemed at the very least interested. And like Mandy and I talked about at lunch today, like the worst case is we already have a bunch of pieces. It's not like you're going to scramble to make a bunch and then they're not going to sell if people aren't interested, or if it doesn't work out, that, like, whatever.
No, I'm not
You
going to
don't have
spend
to-
real
you
good
don't have to
time
buy it.
doing it. It's just for fun.
But
Like, I would
if
do
it does
for fun.
interest people, then it's a good way to share your art.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway, is the point. And like, if it would go to a good home and also help our organization be able to spread AI, like positive things of changing AI, that is 100% worth it.
And I sort of gave Eric no heads up on this because you said you mentioned it to Eric, and Eric, you had like a concern about it. You didn't think it was...
He just thought that we needed to drum up support.
I know,
Sorry,
just-
I don't mean to speak for you, but
I just want to hear
I
if his position.
Didn't want the optics of it to be, I am an artist, you will buy my art. Right? I wanted it to
No.
be like people get excited for it and then
Right.
we say, okay, we'll offer it, sort of thing.
Well, I did that first part already. Does this count?
Something
sure.
like
What is the button to look in my inventory?
E.
E? Thank
Markiplier meme. Man, I keep trying to look. We have 293 live viewers on TikTok right now. We have...
That's so cool. I'm welcome, TikTok.
Where does it say how? We have 3 viewers on YouTube. I see you YouTubers. What's up? What's up? And we have some X number on Twitch. 23 on Twitch.
Oh man, I had more torches.
Oh,
They were just hidden torches.
well, that's goofy. Wait, how are they hidden?
Redstone
Just because your
dust.
texture stuff was broken?
Yeah, because my other ones looked like it, and then that pack for some reason doesn't look like it.
Sad. Surprised y'all ain't trying Hightail. I can't remember what that is. Someone mentioned that yesterday during the stream. Is that the same person? Drops of Mars. I don't remember if that was your name. Eric, do you know what Hightail is?
No.
Chat, what is that?
Is that like a sequel to Undertale?
If that's what it is, I'm not interested. But I
No,
thought it
the
was like
sequel
a
to Undertale is
Zelda-like
Delta
thing
Rune.
or something. Minecraft on roids. I mean, we could try that. We just have this Minecraft world filled with our pink concrete house and some such things. So we just
I
jump
don't know,
in
are
here.
we able to do that on Bedrock?
Do what?
If it's like a modded thing?
It's not a mod. It's a different game, I think.
Oh.
It is a different game, right, chat? It's basically in development hell and then
Are you in
canceled
the-
and then
oh,
revived.
Okay. You put a thing down.
Diamonds.
Dang it. I want to be go getting diamonds. I just needed to make more torches. Is there wood anywhere, or do I have to go get wood?
There should be wood somewhere in our chests.
Might take me till next year to find it, but... Ah, there's some wood. But I need coal, then,
Oh!
right?
Yeah, you need coal or charcoal, which if you cook wood in a stove or whatever, that can becomes charcoal. I think you have to cook wood logs. I don't remember.
Eric took all of the coal.
I did not. I put it back in the furnace.
Nuh-uh.
I did.
The furnace is empty.
Are
There
you
are
up
3
at
furnaces.
the
Did you
up
check
at the
all 3 of them?
house, or are
I
you?
did. I'm at the house. Not an actual idiot, everyone.
Well, there's a way station halfway up the mine that does have furnaces at it, but those are all
there are
empty.
in this middle one that I couldn't get to. Okay.
Man, I should just stream on TikTok. TikTok's going off.
TikTok is the fun new place.
Anyone who's on TikTok, do you watch a lot of live streams on TikTok, or did you just happen upon this and this is unusual for you? Because I'm curious. We're getting diamonds, we're getting coins, we're getting roses.
We're getting friends.
I don't know what any of that stuff does, man.
Are we
Sounds
supposed to be
crazy.
doing NPC things. Gang gang.
But also no, don't do that. You're fired from the organization if you do that.
Oops.
There's hella streams, but I don't watch a lot of them until now. Very easy access. Just happened upon this today. You watch more TikTok streams than Twitch or YouTube. Interesting. I honestly don't watch lives on TikTok. I scroll TikTok kind of a lot, kind of too much probably, but I don't watch live streams very specifically. Oh, Hytale used to be a Minecraft mod called Hypixel, but then it's its own game now. Well, I have heard of Hypixel.
Is it anything like Terraria? Because if it is, that's a big fat no for me, dog.
People are saying it's basically like Minecraft, so I'm assuming it's like a first-person 3D whatever
right, I'm
square
saying
based.
it's like the
You mean like the tone
you
of
have
it?
to you have to defeat the mega ultra boss to get the rare dropped, and then you have to put that on the cookie table, which you have to get from 3 different NPCs, and then and you don't know any of this, you have to look at the wiki.
Dude, I love video games that basically require you to read a step-by-step guide for anything to make sense or to make any progress.
Yeah, Terraria, I think, is my least favorite game ever because it represents all of that, and that is like some of my least favorite things in gaming.
Have you
having
played
to-
/ do you like the like Souls games then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
because the Souls games leave nuggets for you to be able to figure it out. They both have the message system so that people can help each other, and there are big secrets that are sort of obscure, but they are not required secrets. Whereas in Terraria, you basically, if you want to progress at all, you have to know what the order of bosses you have to fight is. In Souls games, it's more open-ended. You just sort of happen on things, and turns out you're actually making forward progress. Although I will say, maybe hot take, but I prefer the more linear, constructed experiences to Elden Ring.
I think that's, not that I'm an expert on the community. From what I've seen, I feel like that's the more common stance. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people who love the Souls games and can't stand Elden Ring, but I do think there's a lot of people who are like, but the regular Souls games are better.
Yeah, I still think they haven't outdone Bloodborne.
Mushi just asked, is Bob streaming this on Twitch? We are live on 5 channels right now, chat. Both of my Twitch and YouTube, and Real Good AI is Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. And yes, I can see you. If you're chatting, I can see you. Do drop on a leaf. You snuck over here. I see you sneaking. That was probably like 5 minutes ago now, but. Man, 454 live viewers on TikTok right now. 18,000 likes. I'm assuming we're basically setting records. Sure that no one has gotten this many likes on TikTok before.
How do I make a stick?
Two planks on top of each other?
2 planks and stack them on top of each other. Professional gamers here, chat. Professional gamers. We were just watching me, Mark, and Wade play Monopoly. That's an old one.
Yeah, when did you do
It
that?
is.
Like,
I think that was
3
like,
years ago, maybe? The most recent?
No, that had to be like 5 or 6.
It's a long time ago. We lived in California when last time that happened, 100%. And we might have lived in our rental in California.
I think
remember.
that might have been like my first year of my PhD when you were doing that. Either first or second.
That's a while ago.
Yeah. It was definitely pre-pandemic.
This is one of the layers of hell.
What's up? Did you
Trying
need
to
some help?
craft. I need to show it. Like I don't know how to take a screenshot, but I need to show you how confusing my crafting is right now.
Yeah, I guess I didn't fix your textures, huh?
Nope.
Could not tell you why.
I'm trying so hard not to complain, but it's very hard. But I will have torches. This will happen.
Not gonna say I could share some with you, but I probably could have done that.
I can do it, Bob.
I believe in
big, strong
you.
Mandy.
You're a big Mandy.
Ouch.
Big strong Mandy?
Okay. I don't need you weak. Get out of here.
I think I just made a crafting table, but accidentally dropped it and hucked it into the abyss of a million bajillion blocks I can't pick up because I'm full. It's going really good in my hole too, basically.
Sounds like it.
We're getting a bunch of follows on TikTok now too. How long has Real Good AI been going for? It seems like a great initiative. About a year. I mean,
Yeah,
what,
just
like
about a
little
year.
over.
13 months almost right now.
But that's like not the full force of our people. We've been hiring people
No.
as we've gone. So that was just me and Craig 13 months ago.
And Mark talked about it on that live stream. What was that? 7 months ago?
It was like 6 or 7 months ago.
That long ago.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was in fall.
No. It was over the summer. It might have been like August. Yeah, but we're so lucky that Mark talking about it. We still have some monthly donations happening from that. And those monthly donors, I look at that every month and I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are our heroes. Like, I don't want to be overly sappy about it because it is what it is. But like, we appreciate that so much. And so if one of those are you are literally one of our heroes. So thank you so much. But that's the only reason I know how long it's been. Yes, it is Bob.
That's me. I'm Bob. From hit podcast Go, My Favorite Sports Team.
There's
And also
something wrong
Distractable.
about that, but I don't know what's wrong with it. So
Hey, I was on one of the audience's favorite episodes of Go of all time, so. What
Were
is
you?
it? They I think it was when I talked about Marching Man with Tyler. People seem to really like. I think I've been on 2 episodes of Go, or maybe just 1, and people seem to really like the one episode I was on for. Where we talked about Marching Man, I think.
They also seem to really like that one episode of Distractable you were on.
all of them.
Yeah, but that one had already been done, and it was a repeat topic, so it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
Am I Bob?
You know
from-
that one that Mandy thought of and you executed.
That's all of them. Not all of them. No, Bob gets credit for 20 questions. That's the big one. That was entirely Bob. 20 easing questions. I said that there was no way they were going to be that silly. I
Well,
was
that
wrong.
one and technically Bob's fridge.
I lived Bob's fridge. I don't know.
Yeah.
You were there for that.
He was like in the other room screaming about it while I was in the other room pacing around freaking out about it.
Well, and you got to see me at the actual maddest. When we recorded that episode, I was still very residually mad, but you saw it all happen and saw me probably the maddest I've ever been
When they left it
at
in
an
the,
actual another person.
and then when we found it in the street, that came after you
Yeah.
already did. That to me is the funniest part, that they had the part that they were supposed to install it with and they just threw it off the truck as they drove away in the middle of the street. This piece that they had.
It was just like the
charged us
water
for.
hose. Yeah, they
Yeah, I
require
mean-
you to buy a new water connector hose, even though if you have a fridge with a water connection, there's already one on there, and they just hucked it in the street, and we're like, run!
Yeah, they just like didn't even want to talk to you. They just wanted to get the heck out of there.
Well, imagine they got it all the way in and installed and slid into the hole, and then came back and were like, hey, we forgot to put this hose in. Can we unconnect some more water shit in your house?
Anyway.
I just am surprised people like that episode. I guess I get that it's funny because I was so outraged, but it's kind of just a hour-long episode of me complaining about some people being really bad at their jobs.
But it is
And
so relatable because
relatable.
it's like the anger translator, right? The Key and Peele sketch. Like that's exactly how everyone feels on the inside, and you translated it, which is why it's so funny, because like everyone has that feeling or has had an experience kind of like that where they just don't know what to do and they're so mad, and that's why it's funny. I think you're just so relatable.
I'm a relatable guy, you know. Everybody gets to live stream and do podcasts for their job, right? Everybody gets to work from home. Very relatable. Very relatable.
Nope.
Pretty common, really. These
Yeah, well,
days.
that's
Live
the
streaming
thing
for
about
my
your
job
job.
right now.
Ha.
The more you become, more people like you for being relatable, the less relatable you become. It's a paradox. But chat, we're really excited to have Eric on board here because he's gonna do some really cool stuff for us. He already has done a cool thing for him. Do you want to tell them about what you sent us last night?
Oh, last night, yeah.
Not the pictures.
Yes, of course not. Those are private. No,
I was like, what? Bob's making a joke. I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
I'm yes-anding him, Mandy.
okay, but I didn't get. I'm with a word.
Mandy no butts
Anyway.
me at every turn. Don't just ignore it.
I
That's
mean,
my
that's fair. I
job.
know but AJ at every turn, but that's because most of the bits he raises are not that funny. So, what I picked up the old electric fiddle again and started making music in Logic Pro again last night. That Mandy brought up the idea of making some music for background stuff either on tip tops
Tip tops?
from Diddy Kong Racing. Anyway, background music for TikToks or for streams, and so I was just like, okay, what would that sound like? And I went with my first idea, and I'm relatively happy with how it turned out. Still needs some tweaks, still needs some finessing and mastering and mixing and all those producey words, but I think it's cool.
It's cool. So that's the cool part about Eric too, because you know how I do art. Also, I also have a music degree, but Eric has a music degree and likes to do composing. And
This isn't really the place to plug it, but Eric has a really interesting library of music you can listen to on SoundCloud because you've done a variety of things, including a theme for me that I've used on my YouTube videos and stuff, but also like music that was for a video game project that you worked on a little bit, and it's fun stuff.
I've got music for a video game project. I did a couple commissions back in like the mid 2010s or something like that. That's probably where the outro for your channel came from, was around that time period. I started out making music for video games. So I wrote a piece for my senior recital when I did that. That I still at some point need to like go back and do like an actual recording for, because the one that was at my senior recital was not well practiced or well performed, so I kind of want to like get a good one down. But
didn't it have other people?
yeah, it's a trio, horn trio and electronics.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you got to get other people then. Isn't that hard?
He could
I can
do all
overdub.
3 tracks.
Oh, got it. Science magic.
Yes.
the
Layering
problem with
recordings is magic.
Doing that is always a pain to get the audio synced up, because
Yeah.
I'm recording on a laptop, which means that there's gonna be some latency, because it's not like a mega computer that can record audio instantaneously. So
Can you?
there's always some
Can
IO
you?
buffer.
Does it help to? Is that the sort of thing where you'd record with like a click track on and use that to help sync,
Yeah.
or does that not?
Yeah,
work
but even
that
when I
way?
do that, there's still like a lag between when I'm hearing the click track and when the audio goes into the system. It's weird. I think there is a way to like turn on a correction for that, and I've tried doing that in the past, but it didn't work. So I just have to. It's almost sort of like syncing audio to video, where you have to have like a sync clap or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
and
well, you could
use
do
that
like
to sync
a
up the waveforms.
if you did a video recording along with it, you could have some kind of visual or semi-visual sync. I don't know if that would really help you with the precision you're looking for with audio stuff, but
Yeah, and I don't think that. I mean, the capability exists in Logic because I've done it before, but it's not native. Or, I mean, it's native, it's just not intuitive. It's not like I'm recording it in DaVinci or something like that.
does anyone else realize that this is not Bob? Like the TikToker name says real good at. Yeah. If you haven't heard about it from myself directly or on Distractable or Mark has talked about it, I am Bob. This is live. We're live on the Real Good channels because I'm the board president of Real Good AI, which is a nonprofit. My wife, Mandy, who is the one of the voices here, you probably guess which one, is the executive director. The other guy who's here is Eric, who is a just started last week, but is a staff member, a researcher, PhD scientist. It is in fact us. It's just on a different channel.
It's you.
Yeah, this is not a real fancy
You're
filter.
the problem. It's you.
It's a live AI filter. I'm actually an 11-year-old boy, and it's just making me sound and look exactly like Bob Meiskens, the YouTuber.
Well, if we were gonna do
Bob
that, wouldn't we
VTuber.
be Mark instead of Bob?
No, that's the scam, right? Because lava! I'm fine. It's fine.
Okay.
God. It was
Because
just,
lava.
it was right above me. Thank God lava moves so slowly. Anyway, cause lava.
Oh, me
and,
also potentially lava.
right. That
I've
was
been digging the
dangerous.
strip mine to try and find a cave, and it's just not.
Yeah, I haven't found a single cave. I found a couple straggler lava bits a long time ago, but they didn't actually have a cave around them.
Lava.
Plug the hole, plug the hole, plug the hole,
How-
plug the hole.
I'm too far.
Place
too
a block,
far.
place a block. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Will it keep
I mean, it's-
spreading out?
If it's
in
above,
infinitum?
yes, well, not infinitely, but it'll spread out an annoying amount. So,
The consequences are not so dire because we don't have item drop on. You keep your inventory.
yeah, that's
on.
true. You just have to run back down and clean it up.
Yeah.
It's not my account either. It's Real Good AI's account. We post TikToks on here all the time. They're educational and we talk about the stuff we're doing, and you can learn about specific science stuff, and like I talk about current topics in AI, lots of stuff.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole
It
organization.
is the whole thing.
With tax filings and a website and all kinds of stuff, chat. You should check it out.
Yeah,
We did a
lots of annoying-
fundraising event earlier, well, not last year, the end of the year. We even have other streamers who are not affiliated with the organization who did streams to raise money for us. That was pretty cool.
That was really nice of them. And we're going to do that event again this year. We got cool programs. We got all sorts of stuff going on.
I still think we can't talk about it, but there's something potentially very cool happening in like the middle of the coming year.
That is true.
That will
true.
be neat. That will be neat.
But I don't
that
think
all
Thing we
we're...
talked
happens.
about last week.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
this
a
is
thing
something
we are
that's
actually not allowed to talk about.
It's not NDA, but it's not publicly announced, so we really shouldn't say anything yet until it's
yeah.
official.
It's not an us thing, obviously, or else we would say it.
Yeah.
Because if it was an
We
us
don't.
thing,
We don't have NDAs. We just say whatever. Man, if
I
Mandy's
like it
Mandy's
that
live,
way.
she's talking about it.
I don't think that it should be any other way than that. I also have a bias about this because my last job was very buttoned up, where you were not allowed to talk about things, and that drove me crazy. I think research and nonprofit stuff, especially, should be completely open as possible, because that only helps everybody.
Your last job be like, what we sell in the vending machine is a matter of national security.
Kind of.
Not allowed to talk about it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. It's way past now. There was such a good segue earlier because Mandy was introducing Eric as our newest staff member, and I was like, and Eric is going to be helping with another thing that's happening this coming weekend because the volunteer group meetings are happening this weekend.
That is true.
Did you know we have
so-
volunteer
I'm running
groups,
are not
chat?
this weekend.
Yours are next weekend, but
Yes.
the next 2 weekends. So we do have volunteer groups. We have now 4 designations. A intersection of AI and art is one group. One group is streamers. One group is communication and education, and one group is machine learning research. And so these groups meet monthly, and we have a Discord. It's very fun. Everybody's always chatting about stuff all the time in it, and we have monthly meetings, and so the meetings are coming up. Eric leads 2 of the groups now, the machine learning and the education and communication ones. But this weekend we are having meetings.
We also had a fun holiday party at the end of the year where we had played some Jackbox and hung out, and everyone had a good time and was very chill. I also recently was swapping some car pics in the volunteer Discord because one of the people who participates a lot and is talkative has a really cool, I think it's a C4 Corvette that's wrapped in a really nice matte black. Anyway, you don't care about the car stuff, but it's fun. It's nice. And you can volunteer. It's cool. B on TikTok says Mandy and Real Good AI are doing great work, important work. Both true. It's very kind of you. You're not here for the AI, you're here for the games. Look, that's why it's all here. You can be here exclusively for the games. That's totally fine. That's what
That
I'm
is
here
totally
for.
fine,
I don't know anything about
but-
AI.
Well, I know that everybody's, not listening or reading to what we're saying, but I think that we need organizations like ours. Obviously, I thought we needed it, and that's why Mark and I created it. But the point is that no one's advocating for the normal people in the AI space. The people making it are quite unhinged and just have their own research, their own
Agenda.
objectives in mind that have nothing to do with what us humans want it to be. And so I get that you don't want AI, and I feel that aggressively because every company right now, everywhere you work, everywhere you look, everything is pushing AI, and we just want humans. We just want humans to do things. And I don't actually disagree with that at all. I think AI has its place. It's in very specific contexts, in learning very specific ways to interact with AI. And by AI, I don't just mean LLMs. I mean machine learning in general, or automation tools, or things that people would actually want and use. Not at all the things that AI companies are marketing or you're probably even thinking of. And so we're trying to help with the problem, and we're trying to make sure humans stay in the loop and, make sure machine learning is as transparent as possible. And I think those are all good goals. And if you're not on that side, if you say no AI ever, I don't know how to help you, because that's not the world we live in.
That's not what's going to happen.
You already lost, but not to us.
We need Star Trek AI, not Terminator AI. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'd settle for Orville
not
AI.
replacement.
Orville AI is pretty good too.
Literally, the only thing I know about that show is 500 cigarettes. That's it.
The Kalons were a bit of a problem, but even then, I'd live in that universe. If you don't watch the Orville, it's
we
pretty
need more
good.
really good AI, right? I mean, there are ways to, I think, at least, I hope, and I know that this is the way that science is going, right? So the way things work is they put out the idea, and it's like a inefficient, terrible version, right? And then you have to like make it efficient, right? How cell phones got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, right? It's not an exact comparison, but we need the research needs to be turning from how do we make the AI better to how do we make it smaller and more interpretable. And some researchers are doing that, but that's not always the case. And so that's coupling that with interpretation and being able to know attribution of things and like illuminate the black box of machine learning is the phrase I always use. So all of that is what we're trying to do. We have no data centers. We're working on what you would be playing video games on, like in terms of tech. We're not high tech in any way. We're mostly working on the theory and advocating for people using it correctly, talking about how to use it less harmfully. It's just we're not creating another LLM. We're not Anthropic or OpenAI by any means. And I get why people are exacerbated, and lump us in with that, but it does frustrate me because this is kind of my not my only baby, because obviously I have another baby, but my newest baby is trying to make this organization work, and I do feel like people do misunderstand that sometimes. But thank you all for being here, because you're obviously not misunderstanding by being here.
They might be. Don't give them too much credit.
Well,
I'm watching you, chat.
They're
Yeah,
friends.
we've had people in chat.
They're friends. Sorry to go on my soapbox.
No, I feel like we need one of those rants per stream. I feel like that's just kind
Yeah.
of, I mean, that's kind of the message that we have to get out, right? The problem, honestly, isn't exactly that people are tired of AI or that they're upset with it, and just basically what you said. But like, it's fine if that's how you see it. It's even fine if your opinion is you would rather not interact with AI. If you have a choice, which you often don't right now, you would choose not to watch something that was used, that had AI used in it or whatever. Like, you can choose that. But the reality of the world that we live in is it's everywhere, and right now it kind of sucks. But it doesn't have to suck. It shouldn't suck. And lava.
Well, mostly it needs to stay in its lane, right? Because like I get that scientists were like excited about the images and all the stuff that they like did. They did not think ahead to the ramifications of replacing artists and humans. Like when this started, there's no way that was what they were planning on doing. Like it was like a curiosity of, can we label images? Can we tell that that's a cat? Because it's a hard math problem. And so there was really just not a lot of thought, I think, to, where that was leading if they would succeed. And the other half of the story is they kind of succeeded and called victory and stopped trying on the pieces that were the most important pieces to me personally. Anyway, but it's not all their fault. But my point is that like everything that companies are pushing right now, like I just got an advertisement from OpenAI because I have like a free account just because I need to know things about what's going on, right? With new things in my position. Anyway, they were like, just put your pictures in and we'll edit your pictures. Like it like looked like it was like Photoshop or something. And like, that's just like straight up not how that works in OpenAI's versions. And so they're just like advertising lies and crazy stuff. And it's like, that's not what anyone wants AI to do. Please cure cancer or something, please.
That, and also it's very nefarious that they sort of hid the lead that the reason why they're doing that is because they want your data, not because it's a product that works.
Right. And I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist either, because obviously we're not anti-technology. We're scientific researchers who have used machine learning in different contexts throughout our careers. But my claim to fame, if you will, is computational efficiency. It's how do we take this model that is interpretable, that's not normal machine learning, that's we can actually understand how it works, and how can we make that reasonable to scale up to larger data. That's sort of what my research is in. And so that doesn't feel nefarious, especially because a majority of the applications that I've worked on have been actually saving computational resources, because it's compared to like physics models, right? So like if you're trying to model something in physical space, the choices are either to model it physically, like with physics equations, or you build what's called an emulator, which maybe you all have heard about emulators in terms of video games. But the concept is it's just a machine learning model code that emulates, that pretends to work just like the physics code. And once you have that trained, you can run it with almost no resources. And so comparatively, you can save a bajillion computation. I know that's not a technical term because it's not. I did write a paper. I wrote a technically published paper. I think we found that 90% of the computation that was in the physics code was that we could have saved entirely by our emulator, of what the physics people wanted to do. That's not an exact direct comparison if you look at my paper, but anyway, I'm not even saying what it is. But the point is that it actually can, in scientific contexts, save computation rather than add computation. You just have to use the right sort of methodology and use it in the right hole, which is such a subtlety that I know the internet is not here to hear about, because everyone is just so fed up with generative text and images and videos. Sorry, you feel like you're in science class. I'll release you. Bell. Ding ding ding. Ding ding ding.
On Twitch, Quinn Walker brought up. Oh, it's on. They're from my YouTube actually. They brought up an interesting point. I hope you're still here, Quinn, because it was a minute ago. They said they looked for us on Charity Navigator and they could not find us, so they were still unsure if they were going to donate or not. Funny thing about Charity Navigator, you don't get to just be on that. To be listed on Charity Navigator, you have to exist for 3 or more years, and there are some requirements. Before they will even, like, you have to have years of tax filings, which you do annually, like your 990, and you have to. There were a couple other things, but we're not on Charity Navigator by choice or because we're not a real nonprofit. You just don't get to immediately be on there. They have a bunch of requirements before they will spend the time and money and resources looking into your organization and making doing whatever their analysis is, right? So that's totally legit, because that's where I look to whenever if it's a new thing I haven't heard of, I'll go to Charity Navigator. That's a good resource. But the reason we're not on there has nothing to do with our legitimacy. If you're curious if we are a real registered 501c3 nonprofit, the records are available with the government. So you can look at like the IRS website using our EIN, which is like our business identity number, and you can see our existing filings. You can see that we have been approved as a 501c3.
The only filing we have that is existing is nothing, because we didn't just do anything before 2025.
We're just such a new organization that that's all there is.
We haven't filed anything yet, but it will once we file this past year. Once we file 2025, it will be available. So
there is totally an amount of like, trust me, bro, built in, which I understand. Not everyone will trust us. You don't have. If you don't know, even if you do know us, you only know us from the internet, right? You know, because I stream and Mandy streams with me, or you know me from Distractable maybe, or whatever. Like, you don't actually know who we are. So that's pretty fair. But that's not, it's not sketchy reasons that all of that stuff may not exist on Charity Navigator or wherever you might want to look for it. It's just because we're new. And that's what another thing about the streaming is. We want to be as visible as possible. Scientific research is really slow. And if we weren't doing these live streams and stuff, there'd be a lot of like, oh yeah, we're doing some research on this thing, and there's nothing to look at, right? Like it's right now it's just some code on a computer, and we're, you know, Mandy's testing things or Eric's testing things, and that's research is really tough to share, even when it's published. Honestly, the way research gets published for a normal person, it's kind of hard to like read a paper and understand the value of it. But we do these live streams so you can talk directly to us and ask questions, and Mandy and Eric and our other scientists and people can talk about what they're doing and hopefully build that trust a little bit, so that if you want to support, you feel like you feel like you have a good as good a connection and understanding of what we're doing as possible before you
and check out the website.
Volunteer
it
or
is
spend any
helpful.
money or whatever. But totally fair point. Just wanted to address that because I was a little disappointed at the chair. Honestly, I get why it's the rules, but I was thinking we would be able to pop up on Charity Navigator, and because I think a lot of people turn to that if they're curious about what a nonprofit does, because Charity Navigator has really good information about how much of your money goes to the mission, how much is your CEO paid, like all of this stuff, right? Which, if you're donating to a charity, you may be curious to know, where's my dollar going to go?
I'll tell you all that information right now. Like,
and we can talk about it, but I was just sort of hoping we could like sign up for a Charity Navigator page, and you know they'd verify our whatever, and we could put our info. But that's not how it works. That's not how they operate. So someday we'll have a Charity Navigator page or whatnot.
Yeah, we're doing everything at light speed. Honestly, like organizations like this, the way that we were created was such an unusual situation that we grew to what we are so quickly, and that was all thanks to Mark, that we were able to do that. But the system isn't set up for that, right? So that's why all these systems are lagging behind. You should have, like, we wouldn't be at the place where we'd be talking to the public only a year in the organization usually. Like, I'm trying to think of some comparisons, but like, one of our partners, the Cookie Brigade, I can't tell you exactly how many years they've existed, but like they were just doing their mission and giving cookies to people at, you know, these conventions for just like a long time before they even incorporated as a nonprofit, and then existed for another set of years before we've, you know, figured out who they are and their full mission, the way that they're operating now. It just is a slow process, but we've sort of light tracked it.
We skipped the line.
Well, because AI is happening right now. We really need it to happen now. Like this real rating, especially that we are doing, this needed to happen last year. Like let's get this going as soon as we can. Like we are aware that things are moving so quickly and need to be done ASAP. So that's why we're working on this visibility now.
Did I see? I did see AI Minecraft. Yes. So there's this genre of, I don't even know what it is. It's a type of AI model, I guess, where it's a generative model where it's like a first-person video game, but it generates as you're playing it. And I've seen one that was kind of like a realistic first-person shooter, like Call of Duty, Rainbow Six kind of one. And there's one that's Minecraft. But it's literally just generative AI generating in real time as you're playing a game, right? And so it's stuff like you're looking at a bed in your house and you turn around behind you and it's a huge freaking cave, and then you turn around back to where your bed was and it's lava in the cave, and then you look up and it's the sky because you're not in the cave anymore, and that like it's a complete like fever dream nightmare version of if you were playing Minecraft.
Nothing persists.
It doesn't remember. Nothing persists. Every time you aim the camera in any way whatsoever, it's immediately just like and this is new, and this is new, and now you have a creeper behind you, and it's like, God. Like, it's funny a little bit, but like if you watch it for too long, it makes you feel like you're losing your mind. And it's a good demonstration of some of the issues currently facing generative AI, but it's not a good recreation of a video game in a meaningful way.
Sounds like a good simulation of the ADHD experience.
And like
That
the
sounds
realistic
familiar to me.
like Call of Duty one was equally crazy. It was like you jump out of a helicopter, you land on the ground, you have like a weapon like a gun in front of you, like it's a Call of Duty game, but like you run through a door, but the door leads into a subway, but then you climb up out of the subway and you're climbing out of a foxhole, and then you climb, and then there's a tank, and then the tank flies into the sky. It's like the exact same kind of fever dream. It's like, God. Stop. So it's funny, but it's not good. And I think the thing that made me laugh at those the most is I saw people talking online. I heard chatter, right? Of people who were like, "Oh, generative video games, they're coming, guys. This is gonna change game." Like, it was people hyping it up. It was people looking at that and being like, "This is the future of games. Your game could be anything." And then you watch the demo and it's like, what in the heck kind of garbage?
I don't want it to be that, though.
I hope this isn't the future of games. Oh my God.
Maybe a horror game.
But it's funny in a not very funny, because there are definitely going to be some CEOs who are like, this is the future of video games, and that's terrifying. But unless there's been new ones, if there are new ones, chat, that have come out, let me know, because I've only really seen like a couple examples, but that's what I've seen. It's lovely. It's great. Oh, we talked about this, I think, once before. Do we want to talk about Expedition 33? I feel like we got our say out on it, and I know, Mandy, you made...
We didn't talk about it. We have a social media post coming out. So you'll have to watch our TikToks.
Yeah, follow the TikTok. It's going to be posted.
Either next week or the week after. Because we're on top of it and ahead.
Not me. That's just our social media team. Which, by team, I mean our social media AJ. But currently at 1,500 viewers and 30,000 likes on TikTok.
Wow.
We setting records? Are we breaking our website? Is TikTok down? Is that our fault? Mandy did get into the server today, but she's playing by looking at each block in front of her and reading the label of what it is, because her textures are still broken AF. So she's having a great time, basically.
That's how I live.
Texture packs are for nerds.
Might need a new computer.
Mandy plays first-person text-based video games.
I mean, this seems to be like the only thing it's screwing up on, right?
Heroes of the Storm seemed fine, but so did Minecraft when I was testing it the other night. I have no idea what the problem is exactly. It doesn't really make sense to me. In any case, it's time for you to get a new computer, so that might be an easy solution, but also I guess I should try and fix this one.
But then the computer gremlins win.
The Dobie has beaten us. Mandy's playing the assistive text version of Minecraft. Very true.
So, chat, do you have any questions for us?
We offer scientific knowledge and love advice. And I'm not going to tell you which one we're better at.
Which one we have a PhD in.
Well, we got 3 doctorates here. 2 of them are PhDs and 1 of them is me. But I do have a doctorate. And I'm not going to let that go.
If your name started with D, that would work.
I don't know why my doctorate gives me a suffix, but so it goes. I have a suffix. Bob Myskin's doctor.
Esquire.
Yeah, same
Not
thing.
doctor.
Everybody knows those are basically interchangeable.
They are not. No, is there an Esquire on the plane?
Yeah, no one would be confused. Everyone would know what was happening. I would get out my notary public book and stamp, and I would charge them $7 for the signature, and then the paperwork emergency would be solved.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please explain what we are donating to specifically? I mean, right now, probably you're not donating to anything. If you would like to donate, you can. What we're talking about and what we're representing here is an organization called Real Good AI. It is a nonprofit scientific research organization. I don't know. We're founded by my wife, Mandy, who's here on the call, and Mark Blyer, that one. He's talked about it before. And Mandy has a PhD in statistics. We have several other staff members who have PhDs in various types of science, including Eric, who's also here on the call, who's a PhD in bioinformatics. And the dream of Real Good AI is to save the world from all the crappy AI that's out there right now, to change how, in a way that I can't fully explain because I don't fully understand it, but I kind of understand, is change how AI works, change the mathematical underpinnings of it to a new type of model that will be more efficient, that will be interpretable, that will be better. Real good, you could say. But that's a long-term goal. And in the short term, we're doing things like launching the Real Rating System, which Mandy talked about at the beginning of the stream, but if you're curious, it's on the website. It's a way to tell consumers of your media how much AI and generally what type you may have used in the production of it. Anywhere from none whatsoever to fully AI generated. The scale accounts for all levels and types of AI usage. You'll see if you're watching the stream and not just listening, there's a 0 beneath me right here. Because to the best of my knowledge, and I did look into the music since the last time, and to the best of my knowledge that I can gather, there's no intentional use of AI anywhere in this stream. All the assets are made by artists who are paid or people who work for Real Good AI. The music is made by real human artists who licensed it to Pretzel Rocks, which is the company that I use to play the music they play on stream, all that sort of stuff. But it's a nonprofit. It's us. In the words of Mark, it's us.
And overwhelming, our costs are going to pay people to do these programs, right? We needed to develop the Real Rating. We need to develop the rollout of how we're doing it. The research that's getting done. Scientists have spent their whole careers getting education and working. We need to pay them to do research, to do the research that is important. Research is obscenely expensive. We don't have a building. We don't have very much administrative overhead. I can't tell you the exact number from last year because I don't have it finalized yet, but it's majorly going towards those sort of things. We have educational programs we're building. We're trying to package up an educational, how would you describe that? A program to help introduce children to like not use AI in the bad, terrible ways, but first teach them about, some safe
Teach them
rails.
how to safely interact with it. Teach them what sort of boundaries are good. What is not a good way to try and put AI tools to use, and what
we have a coloring book
acceptable.
Educational program where we're paying artists to do single coloring pages that have scientific themes. So it's real artists. It's not we're not generating them, but you can learn a little bit about science while you're coloring, practicing art, if you will. While learning about some great artists. We actually have a set of coloring pages coming out tomorrow, I think. They represent all the pages of STEAM. So science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. And I think maybe in chat even, there are some of the artists who
Dewdrop
have
on a
been working
Leaf
on this.
in Twitch chat is one of the artists. Which one?
What
did
is
you
the
do?
environmental impact of this compared to others? I mean, there's no
slim.
comparison. We are
Yeah.
basically running on gaming laptop.
I mean,
gaming
primarily our
rigs.
organization runs on MacBook Pros, but like
Yeah.
the most powerful computer we have is a
Eric's.
high-end
Yeah, the one
gaming
we just
desktop
bought.
computer.
Which
Yes.
is
We do not have data
we don't have-
centers. We
yeah.
are not burning the
It has
midnight
a
oils like that.
5080.
We are not doing racks of servers and using data. So the whole point of the research is, well, there's so many points to it. It's hard to say that it's just one point, but we want the AI to be interpretable and scalable and need less data, essentially, is like the very overall arching thing. So like in statistics, you're always trading off, do you need more data or do you add structure to your problem? And right now, neural networks and the way that machine learning works right now is they've swung all the way towards, I don't need any structure almost at all. I mean, they have structures, like this is maybe way oversimplification, but like they hope that the structure will be learned from just having an unbelievable amount of data, and that uses so much extra resources to learn things that we probably already knew. And so the type of modeling we're leaning in towards like needs a lot more expert handling and care to put those assumptions in it directly. But once you've done that, you're not relearning the wheel every time, right? Reinventing the wheel, I guess, is the phrase.
Yeah, well, it's literally.
But it's just like there's no comparison. And so, like when Mark did his AI fight night, he talked about this and had one of these plots that I showed of my research. And this is like previous research. This is not what we're doing currently now, but just to give you the context that this is true. And we compared a CNN, which is like a normal image type model.
A
neural
convolutional neural network, if you've heard the term
Yes.
neural network before, is what that is, CNN.
So there's that versus our MyGP's method that we did, and it's like a 99-ish% reduction in computing time to get a very similar answer. I can't tell you the exact percentage. I would have to go back and look. I think it's 99.6, but again, I'm pulling that number out of the top of my head, which could be totally inaccurate. But it's something like that. It's night and day, and CNNs are not even the most complex neural networks that exist, and that was for an only moderate amount of time. The important part of data, the important part is how it scales in the amount of data. And the CNN was doing like a swoop up, and our model was like flat.
Meaning that the CNN model was increasing, I don't know if exponentially is fair, but increasing at a crazy fast rate. The more data there was, the faster it was. Or the more data there was, the longer the computational time, whereas Mandy's model is not as impacted by that. I don't know how to... I was like, I'll explain it simpler. I'm not explaining it simpler.
Right. Because
It's just
my
a
model
complicated thing
uses
to
a lot of
explain simply.
localizations. It's a complicated thing to talk about when you're not really well with the research. But the TLDR is night and day differences possible. Now there is a lot of research to do between where we are with my type of models and putting them in ChatGPT, right? Like this is not a thing we're doing tomorrow. So don't expect that to be true. But what we do want to do are set some like proofs of concepts in the research world to show people, hey, look, there are other options. Let's go these other options and get public pressure to push all the companies towards, hey, that exists. Do that. Why aren't you doing that? To try and get everyone on page with more interpretable, more sustainable AI in the future. So, way too much information. I know. Also,
they asked.
They did ask. Also, Wade is still somewhat involved, not as involved as the other two, but he helped us raise money during our Full Steam Ahead event at the end of the year. So we do thank Wade very much.
Plus, he's undistractable, so he hears Mark and I talk about this from time to time.
It's true. He was also very supportive when we talked to him about it too. He was like, "How can I help? Let's get this done. AI is a problem."
And Wade is there. Isn't he, though? Isn't that an accurate description of him a lot of the time? I guess bald might be people's go-to, but that's just mean-spirited, you know? How much intersectionality does AI research have with like straight up neuroscience? I don't know anything about either, but I'm curious to see if breakthroughs in one field. As a non-scientist, I'll give my answer first, and I'll say not as much as you might think. I think that there is a good chance that progress in AI research will be useful for neuroscience research, but not because of any additional understanding of like how brains work or how that, like just because it'll be useful for medical research or scientific research. It's very misleading that AI is called artificial intelligence. It's very misleading that things are called neural networks. It makes sense. It's not like it's baloney that it's called, that these things are called this way, but it draws comparisons in people's minds completely fairly to like, oh, so this is like a human brain, but in a computer, right? Oh, so if this is like a neural network, that means it's like thinking, right? That's just not what's happening. There's no, the current state of neural networks and AI stuff in general, it does not think. It is not mimicking the structure of a human brain. It is not helpful in understanding how a human brain works or vice versa. That's kind of part of the problem, is that they're so, you know, we're trying to teach AI how to think like a person without equipping it with the things, you know, the structures which we don't understand of how people think. But like, I don't think there's actually that much intersectionality there, as much as you might presume from the way the names of those things seem so related. And I'm sure there are scientific reasons as well, but
I mean, that being said, I think we understand both AI and the brain about the same amount, which is pretty much not at all. But I do think there are things that can be learned, especially in what I was talking about, how we need to impart structure in things. Like, I've thought about all these things about like, so for example, the mistakes that AI makes are not the same sort of mistakes that a human would make, because it doesn't have that same understanding. It doesn't have the foundational knowledge. I think just throwing it all in and having it look for patterns is not necessarily the right solution. If you just like drowned a baby in everything so complicated, okay, that was a bad choice of words. If you used so much information, you shot it at anyone, like so much information, they wouldn't be able to really learn anything. And we don't take those sort of neurocognitive load issues into account when we build the machine learning models. They are inherently not the way we learn at all, and just looking for these strict patterns. My point being, I think that we can improve AI in some ways by looking to neuroscience things about what cognitively is going on when things are happening. But I wouldn't say this is not an area of research, but when neural networks and big data came on the scene, people sort of abandoned these directions, mostly because they could find that they could just do so well at these tasks in the narrow way they've defined them by just throwing an insane amount of resources at it. And we're trying to say that's not the end of the story here. Maybe you took a shortcut, and good for you, you got so far, but you are limited, because I don't think that sort of AI is ever going to get much better than it already is. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe this won't be helpful for other people, but this is a thing that I think was helpful for me to understand the bigger picture a little bit, is the current approach to the way they're building AI, anything, LLMs, AI, visual AI stuff, is they take their initial model, which is basically like a toddler that doesn't know anything, right? It's a newborn baby. It has no knowledge of anything. And then they're taking that and giving it every piece of information they could possibly shove into it and telling it like, we need you to swim, swim, swim. And so the model is having to learn everything, right? It doesn't know language. It doesn't have any prior knowledge of anything useful. It's going from 0 to we want you to do this thing. We want you to generate an image or whatever. Like, and it's why would you start from scratch with that when we already have constructs for these things? We know what's useful information if you're trying to teach someone how to swim or how to, do a defined task. Why would you just start by giving them every piece of data that you possibly could and then just hoping that they figure out along the way of all the other crap they're going to have to sort out, that they figure out the task you want them to figure out as well? It doesn't make any sense. And it's kind of silly and not accurate to visualize it that way. But like that, I never understood, I guess, until I was more involved with this stuff, why the models were so wacky. And like why it was such a weird approach that people were just sort of shoving all this data in. Because to me, I was always like, yeah, more data makes it work better. Sure, like that makes sense, right? But it kind of doesn't. Like there's a limit, and I feel like if they're not already, they're gonna run into the hard limit of more data is not gonna fix your problems. It's just whatever they're trying to accomplish, the model's not gonna do that effectively or efficiently or both.
Well, the problem is that right now there are scaling laws, which everyone is generally agreeing upon, that you can get marginal improvements in the specific tasks that they've outlined, like in a predictable way in terms of data size. So like every time you want to go up one ring on the ladder to getting towards the solution, you have to add way more data than you had to get the previous ring, if you can imagine climbing a ladder towards victory of AI. Anyway, but the point is that that has rung relatively true in the specific areas that they are measuring. My personal opinion, and I think generally the consensus in the public as we've talked to people, is the things that they're measuring are not the things that we're measuring about AI being useful or even being reasonable, right? So like the fact that it generates something very specifically the way that you wanted it, like that it can, I don't know, it's not used how you want it to be used. So and they're not measuring victory in the same sense that we would be, like where it's like a safe, ethical, computationally efficient, interpretable model. So my point being, there are scaling laws that they are following, and that's why they're all prepping for this future where they need so much more, is to get every little teeny bit of improvement in the way that they are currently doing it without throwing the system out entirely like we're trying to do. That's what they've learned and tends to be working. And by working, I have big air quotes around working.
It's working well enough that it's impressing investors and getting them capital to spend on building data centers that they assume will continue solving all of the shortcomings. But won't we all just learn the outcome of that together? Doesn't that sound fun?
I feel like I've been talking off my butt too much today. Yeah. Like, let's talk about real, fun stuff.
To go back where the question started, the parallel between neuroscience and AI. I've actually taught neuroscience students as someone who does data science in the biological field. Neuroscience people, I've had a few star students who double majored in computer science and neuroscience to try and tackle this AI problem. And to agree with Bob, yes, I don't think there is a lot of there's a lot of agreement between the two modalities that AI is very much not like how our brains work. And in fact, there has been a little bit of research several papers that were brought up to me, and I've looked through that try to actually break it down into small components, where they try to take a small sample of neuronal cells of brain tissue and have it behave like a neural network to see, like, train it like they would train a neural network to see where the differences and where the similarities are between neural network architectures and actual brain cells. And that's still sort of a fledgling field at this point. Honestly, if you're talking about dual majoring in neuroscience and AI, what you're probably going to end up doing is AI-based therapeutic development for stuff that has impact on mental health or brain function. Stuff like making new opioids or treating drug-resistant depression or things like that, using AI for that kind of technology. You know, the sort of stuff that we would want AI to be applied to, not replacing artists or
being my personal therapist on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Don't do that, for the love
Please
of God.
do not find God in an LLM, please.
If you want a pretty entertaining and surprisingly shocking look at what happens if you treat your chatbot on your phone like it's your friend or your therapist, Eddie Burback has a really interesting video. He is not a scientist or anything. He's a YouTuber, purely an entertainer. But he did a video where I think it was for a month, or it was maybe for less time than that. He talked to, it was ChatGPT or one of those things, and basically did what it said and used it as like his personal mentor, therapist, friend. That video from Eddie Burback is a great look at all the reasons why you absolutely should not treat an LLM like it's a person or like it's a therapist or like it's your friend or any of that. Because the video is very entertaining, but kind of freaky. And if it wasn't done, if someone was not just doing it as a bit, the way that Eddie did it, but was fully believing and buying into all of the stuff that went on in that video, it would not be good. It would be terrifying. It would probably be not good for that person. Potentially it'd be not good for other people. It was encouraging him to do some really crazy, unhinged things, and he only did it for a relatively short amount of time in a relatively controlled environment where it was a joke. But yeah, that's non-scientific or anything. That's just a interesting, entertaining look at that sort of stuff. I don't think anyone who's here, who's engaging in this conversation, needs to be told that, because clearly you're interested enough that you're interested in what we're talking about, which is, you probably have some knowledge. But if you're curious, it's good reasons not to treat like that. I guess, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah,
I could keep digging tunnels for the rest of eternity, but it's technically after time.
That is true, but we've had a great stream today. Thank you all for joining.
1,900 viewers, 33,000 likes on TikTok. We had viewers on YouTube, which I can't see because I have 19 tabs open. How many people? How many YouTubers are you? Fewians? 6, 8, 10? See you guys. Thanks for checking out the new channels, and the Twitch viewers, thanks for being on our Twitch channel. You're the OGs. You've been here. I was going somewhere with that, but I lost it completely. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream.
Follow us on the platform that you're on if you're here and you don't follow.
Yep. Follow on TikTok, follow on Twitch, follow on YouTube, follow on Instagram. If you're curious, there will be information and entertaining and informational videos posted on those platforms. The website, realgoodai.org, has a bunch of really great stuff, including the Real Rating System, which is one of the main pages on the front, on the top header of that website, but also the information about volunteering, information about programs that we're putting on and doing in the real world, information about fundraising if you want to donate, lots of stuff. Make sure that you follow. There's also a newsletter, which AJ puts out. Check out the newsletter. Sign up for that if you want to get the official updates. And yeah, we'll be back next week with a guest. The stream will look a little different. It'll be myself and Dr. Amen Gomiri will be here, who is one of our staff members. And the guest is oh boy, I don't recall. The guest is a scientist. Leave it at that.
He's a data scientist. He's done AI stuff for a lot of startups in Silicon Valley. So he's a little bit of a different perspective than we've shown before. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk to him.
Interesting
And-
to ask some questions. He'll have some interesting knowledge, hopefully, and insights into stuff. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Liv?
I was just gonna say, but he has a PhD from Princeton in this data science stuff. So he's a
Fancy.
smart guy and knows a lot of stuff.
Dr. Brant Belson, says AJ in chat. I believe you.
That's correct.
But yeah, come back next Thursday if you want to see that. For now, we are out of here. I traditionally raid from my Twitch channel into the Real Good channel. I'm going to do that just to give you a chance to follow in case you're watching my channel and any of this intrigued you. I'm going to do that if Twitch allows me. There we go. So I'm going to start the raid, and then we'll hang out for just a second on the Real Good channel. But this is really the wrap-up of the stream. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Yeah, just follow everywhere, and volunteer if you want. If you have, if you think you have something to offer, we'll take it.
Yeah, we've got a wide, diverse group of people who are into the social sciences, natural sciences, people who are just artists, people who stream for a living. We got a whole bunch of wide variety of people over there. If you think you have any expertise or any new perspective to contribute at all, please go ahead and volunteer.
And if you're more humble and don't feel like that, you probably still do. So if you're interested, join us.
Well, my Skirm streams are over, so now it's just the cool kids. Maybe. Is it still
real
working?
ones.
Yeah, it's still working. Just the real ones, just the cool ones. What's up, everybody?
You don't have the rating system on this screen though.
I thought I put it on this screen. Wait a minute. Here, I'll go to one where I know I have it. Just kidding. Here you go. Now it's in the corner. I could have swore I put one on that screen. That's just an oversight. I'm the manager here, so there's going to be a lot of mistakes. But it's just how I am. If you watch Distractable, you would know that.
We do.
Everyone does. It's the world's most popular podcast, I'm pretty sure. What is my favorite restaurant? It's such a complicated question. If I had to say my favorite restaurant I've ever been to, I'm going to give the obnoxious answer and say the French Laundry is my favorite restaurant I've ever been to, which is a very, very fancy restaurant located in Napa in California. It's unbelievably good and fancy and expensive, and you have to book it months and months in advance. But that was awesome. We got to do that. Anyway, you had your chance. I think we're going to end the stream chat. We're out of here. Thank you so much for following the raid over if you came from my channel. Everyone else, make sure you follow where you want to follow. And we'll see you next Thursday with the guest, okay? Okay, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.
Thanks.